I found the breastfeeding network really, really useful because I was at work in Glasgow and I actually didn't know anybody in the villages locally, so it's been a really good resource network for contacting other mums, and I've now got lots of friends in the village locally, which is fantastic. In terms of the breastfeeding, I anticipated lots of problems as I'd known friends who'd had lots of problems. I was really lucky I didn't have any problems whatsoever, but what I have done is learn loads. I've learnt about the dream feeds, and various latching on techniques and all this sort of thing, and why the baby's doing cluster feeds, why it's doing this, why it's doing that, and that has actually been really invaluable. And also I brought my mum along once, and my mum breastfed all three of us, and she's a dairy farmer's wife, so you'd think she'd know about this sort of thing, and she said she learnt more in the 2 hours that she was at the group than she has done in the whole of her life, and she was really, really pleased that there is this support for women these days, because she didn't have anything like that in her day. So yes, an absolutely invaluable resource.
The daily phone calls were great because, I was really busy and I would forget to call, and then when she would ring it would be such a relief and I could just go bleh and just let it all out, everything that had been worrying me all day.
I came to the BfN 2.5 years ago with my first daughter and got fantastic, friendly, helpful support and advice. The people made me feel very welcome, the helpers and supporters. 2.5 years on, I'm still coming back with my second daughter and I'm still learning new things and still getting supported. It was very reassuring to know there was people at the end of the phone if I needed any help and support. And most importantly, I made really good friends.
I found the support that I received from the breastfeeding network invaluable. I had a C-section with my baby and I had real problems with my milk coming through. I called my peer supporter in the middle of the night, and she was able to give me advice and see me through the really difficult times. I actually would have probably went on to formula if I hadn't have actually had that support. Also, coming to the centres every week has been also a great support for me. Meeting other mums, sharing tips and advice, and just sort of knowing that your experience is typical and normal is really helpful every week.
The breastfeeding group has been a valuable support to me throughout the first few months of parenthood. Breastfeeding was something I was determined to do, but I had no idea how hard it would be. I found it one of the most rewarding things I've ever done and created such a great bond with my daughter. With the support of the group, I was able to enjoy the whole experience.
I breastfed my first two boys with no problems at all, but when number 3 came along, I quickly ran into difficulty. I had problems with the latch, I had sore nipples, and then I got mastitis all within the first 2 weeks. The mastitis was quite severe, I was very unwell with it, and my midwife helped me as much as she could, and I persevered and worked through it, but at the end I felt all my confidence had gone, so she put me in touch with the BfN. They really did come and make such a difference, because I thought I knew all I needed to know about breastfeeding and I really didn't, and the support was fantastic.
The support was really, really helpful. I couldn't have asked for more support. Coming out to the house and everything, it was amazing and so flexible. A completely invaluable service.
I struggled to feed my first son quite a few years ago. There was no breastfeeding network in the area then, and I gave up after a few weeks. When I had my second son a couple of years ago, I used the BfN supporter line, and also someone came out to give me a hand for an hour, and been to the groups as well. I definitely wouldn't have managed without the support that I got from the BfN.
When my daughter was 5 days old, I phoned the helpline. Somebody came out to the house and supported me with positioning with my daughter, which was very useful. A couple of days later, I came along to one of the groups, and through that I've received lots of help and support with different issues due to thrush, positioning, sleepless nights. Through being at the group, I've met lots of friends, and most of my mummy friends are actually all from the breastfeeding network. It's an excellent service, and long may it continue.